DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, hope you're all well. And this is part two of Dave Nicholson's tags. And I say tags with plural because he took over Jasmine's place, we could say, for this Monday. And instead of 5 questions, there's 10. So let's get into them. I've just finished doing his first Saturday tag, last Saturday tag. So question one. Are a toy kids today probably never heard of? We had, let me see. We used to have. I had a Batman, but we also had like a G.I. Joe style. We didn't have the real G.I. Joe; they were too expensive at the time. But kind of like I had a Batman and a G.I. Joe style person that we would use as we would have parachutes on them. We'd throw them up in the air, and they'd come down as parachutes. They'd come down like if they were in a parachute. And I don't know if those type of things actually still exist in a way. Then what else would there be? There were, I don't know if they, like, Mechanos still exist or not. My parents used to had bought us something like that. What else? I was almost going to say a book, but that's not a toy. They still exist, but kids don't know what they are anymore. I was going to say Etch-a-Sketch, but I actually saw one the other day. Those are things that are pretty rare these days. Okay, anyway, we'll leave it at that. Question 2, best ever prison movie. I was almost going to say I have no idea, and then all of a sudden I realized of one that I liked one many years ago. Papillon. Depends on how you want it. It's a French word. It means butterfly. Papillon. That was a French. Well, I don't know if it was a French movie, but anyway, it was a movie, prison-based movie. Yes. From a book. Question 3. Your favorite famous dog, but it can't be Scooby Doo. I wouldn't have said Scooby Doo anyway, but Lassie, but not the Lassie from when I was a little boy. There was Lassie. There was June Lockwood. I don't remember her last name. She was the mom. They were on a farm, and the little boy was Timmy. And then, Lassie went into I don't know how many variations, but that was the one. When I was a kid, yeah, Lassie. Or Rin Tin Tin. Oh, yeah, Rin Tin Tin. Yeah. Rin Tin Tin and Rusty. Yeah. Those two. But Rin Tin Tin and Rusty. Yeah. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, okay. Question 4. Something fun you did as a child that you still do. Tell jokes. Something fun that I did as a child that I still do. Gee. Well, I haven't done it much lately, but I went when we were in the mountains the last time. I went sledding with the kids. Yeah, but it's not something I do regularly. Something fun that I still do. Ride my bike. Might be that. Yeah. Read comic books. Let me see. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Question 5. Best TV doctor show of all time. Of all time. I'd say it's kind of a TV doctor show, although it is and it isn't. MASH. And I like Dr. House a lot, actually. But when I was younger, there was There was, yeah, there was. It was MASH, and I'm trying to think. I remember, was it my mom or grandma used to watch these soap operas, which had doctors in them, and they liked them a lot. Yeah, but I think I will leave it at that. MASH and House with a close second. Yeah, or maybe even equal. Might even be a tie. Question 6. Best candy bar you ever had? Oh goodness, what was it called? It was a wafer type coffee crisp. Coffee crisp in Canada. These I used to love those, and I still think they're probably some of the best bars. Chocolate bars, as we said. I don't say chocolate, but chocolate bar. Yeah, I like those a lot. And we used, yeah, give that coffee crisp. I wonder if you have to be Canadian to know that. I'm trying to wonder all of a sudden. Let me see. Okay, question 7. A soft drink you used to have that no longer exists. No idea. I never really drank much soft drink, or colas and stuff like that. So I'm not really able to answer on that one. We used to have something that was called cream soda. I don't know if that still exists. When I was a kid, and since I lived in Quebec as a younger boy, and people would, well, a lot of people would speak French, of course, over there in my family. They'd ask if you wanted a crème soda, and yeah, cream soda. I don't know if that still exists. Maybe that's something. Maybe it's one. Question 8. 2 things beside your bed when you sleep. 2 things. Okay. I was almost going to say Mrs. DC, but she's not a thing. So, on the table next to my bed, I have I don't keep my phone there. I keep my phone in another room actually, where it's charging on the mag charger. So what do I have? I have an alarm clock, and do I have a second thing on there? 2 things next to me. Probably a tissue or something like that. Yeah. I don't keep much. Well, so I suppose my bedstand, I suppose, but it's not really. That's all. Sorry, that's it. I keep very little things next to me. Question 9. The ugliest personal vehicle ever made is. Wasn't there something called a gremlin? I kind of remember that. It was a pretty ugly car. It seemed to have no back part. I think it was called that, a gremlin. But I never had one. And question 10, which goes the other way, your favorite personal vehicle you ever owned? Well, let me see. It was actually a small vehicle called an Opel. So I was living in Switzerland then. So Opel, it was a Corsa. And it was made by General Motors at the time. Opel used to be part of General Motors before it was sold off. And it was a diesel, it was a stick shift, and it was rather low, so it had a really good, a really good feel to it when you were driving, and I like that car a lot. I've never been much of a car person. Some people go wild about their cars and things like that. I don't actually. So I like that one. But frankly, I never really got into having to say that I have an absolute personal vehicle. But we'll leave it at that one. So for those of you that live in Europe, Opel, if you're in the UK, it's Vauxhall. So it probably would have been a Vauxhall Corsa if you're in the UK, and an Opel Corsa if you're anywhere else on the continent. So yeah, and that's it. And that's it for the. Well, okay. So, oof. I don't feel I did a very good job today. But anyway, yeah, Gotta get back to doing New Year's stuff. Okay, take care, everybody, and well, have a good week. DC signing off. Bye bye.